Hey boys and girls, I'm going to show you where you can find your assignment for math 0706 fraction model masterpieces, and I'm going to go over a couple of the problems with you. So I'm going to start by clicking into the math course, go to module 7, which is use equivalent fractions to add and subtract fractions. We're looking at 0706 fraction model masterpieces. This lesson is 5 pages long, so make sure you go through all 5 pages. It's going to show you how to work out each of these problems, and it's going to give you lots and lots of examples. Your assignment is on page 5 under the What is my assignment page. Your assignment here, fraction model masterpieces, and you also have a rubric here that's attached that you can view to see how you're going to be graded. The biggest thing, boys and girls, with all of your math worksheets is to show your work. In order for you to get full credit, you need to show your work, to show the math behind it, and not just have your answers, okay? So for this worksheet, I've got it already pulled up. It's a 5-question worksheet where you're adding mixed numbers. A mixed number is when you have a whole number and a fraction together. So 1 1/2 is a mixed number. You have a whole number and a fraction together. I'm going to actually do a couple of these problems for you to show you as a model so that when you're doing the other problems, you have something to look back on. Before we get started, I want to look at the directions. It says use fraction models to solve number 1. So I'm actually going to do number 1 for you using the fraction models. And then numbers 2 through 5, you can solve any using any strategy of your choice. And I'll show you one strategy that you can use. All right, so I'm going to start by screenshotting number 1, and we'll do that one out using fraction models. Okay, let's make this bigger. All right, so we've got 1 1/2 and 2 3/4. To start off, when we're adding mixed numbers using fraction models, we're going to draw out these fractions using models. So 1 1/2, I'm going to draw out by drawing out one whole, and we're going to shade that in red. And you're obviously going to shade yours in better than mine. It's a little hard with using my mouse. And then I've got another whole, and that one needs to be cut in half because we're working with halves, and I'm only going to shade in half of it. This fraction model right here represents 1 1/2. Okay, and we are adding that 1 1/2 with 2 3/4. So I'm going to make a fraction model to represent 2 3/4. So there's 1, and again, shade it in. 2, we've got 2 wholes. And 3/4. I'm going to draw out my whole and break it up into fourths. There's half. Break each half in half. Now I've got fourths, and I need 3 of those shaded in. I'm going to shade in 3 of those 4. And so now I've got 2 3/4. Now, when I am adding these mixed numbers, you easily can add the wholes together. So we have one whole here. Let me get a different color. We have one whole here and a second whole and 3 wholes. So there's my 3 wholes that we can add together. So I'm just going to put 3 as my whole number. And now I have a half and 3/4. Well, I need to break these fraction models up so that we have the same amount of, so we have the same denominator. Well, I know that I can take my 1/2 and I can divide it in half, and now I have 4 pieces. I've got 1 piece here, 2 pieces here, 3, and 4. So this 1/2 is now represented as, well, I've got 2 shaded out of the 4. And that is equivalent, 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2. So now my fraction, or my mixed number, would be 1 2/4. Same fraction, just an equivalent fraction. Same, it has worth the same amount. But now I've got the same denominator, 4 and 4, and can add those up. Well, I've got 2/4 and 3/4. Well, 2/4 plus 3/4, let's write that out over here. So I know my 1 whole is 3, but then I've got 2/4 plus 3/4. And let's just add our 3. Just drag that over. So now we just have our whole number plus our 2 fractions to get our final answer. Our 3 stays the same as 3 wholes, and then I got 2 plus 3, which is 5. And then I've got 4ths as my denominator. The denominator stays the same, so 3 and 5/4. Uh-oh. Well, 5/4 is an improper fraction because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So we need to do some division to make it a mixed number. So 5 divided by 4, that's what we're doing here. 4 will go into 5 one time. Subtract. We're left with 1. Take that 1, drive it up over your divisor. So our answer is 1 1/4. So 5/4 is equal to 1 1/4 plus our whole number 3. So now we're looking at 3 plus 1 1/4, which is 4 1/4. There is our final answer. So this last step, boys and girls, is just taking the improper fraction 5/4 and turning it into a mixed number by doing that division. That fraction bar is also a division symbol. 5 divided by 4 is 1 1/4. And anytime you have a mixed number, this is good to know. Anytime you have a mixed number, there's an invisible plus sign in between our whole number and the fraction. So that's why I added here. That's why I added the 3 plus the 1 1/4, because there's an addition symbol in between your whole number and fraction in mixed numbers. So we added those up and we got a total of 4 1/4. So 1 1/2 plus 2 3/4 is 4 1/4. Okay, so number 1 has been done for you using a fraction model, but 2 through 5 can be solved using any strategy that you'd like. So I'm going to go over and do another strategy for you. So I'm going to close out that, and I'm going to do number 5. Okay, so let me screenshot number 5, and then you're just left with 2, 3, and 4. And you can use these to help you. All right, so for this one, boys and girls, we do not have to draw out the fraction models unless that's something that will help you. That's totally fine. So what I like to do, boys and girls, when I am adding mixed numbers is I like to write it out as one big addition problem, because as I said before, in between your whole number and your fraction are plus symbols. So 1 4/6 is actually 1 plus 4/6. It's the same. Okay, that's the same. Plus 9 is our whole number. In between our whole number and fraction is an invisible plus 3/8. All right, so now we have 1 plus 4/6 plus 9 plus 3/8. Let's add up our whole numbers. Well, 9 and 1 is 10. That's an easy thing for us to add. And then we need to add 4/6 and 3/8. 4/6 plus 3/8. Now, we're adding fractions, which we've done in a previous lesson in this module. When we're adding fractions, we have to have the same denominator. In these fractions, our denominators are 6 and 8. These are unlike denominators, so we need to find a common denominator or a common multiple to help us add and find equivalent fractions to be able to add. So I need to think about, okay, what number can 6 and 8 be turned into? Well, I know I can turn 6 into 24, and I can also turn 8 into 24. And in order to do that, boys and girls, you really got to think of your multiples. 6, 12, 18, 24. And then think of your multiples of 8, 8, 16, 24. Oh, we have a matching multiple of 24. So we can use that as our new fractions. So again, I'm going to do my work out. I've got 4/6 and 3/8. And we know the common denominator that 6 and 8 can be changed to is 24. So now I need to figure out, how did I get to 24? Well, 8 times 3 is 24. Whatever you do to the denominator, you must do to the numerator. 3 times 3 is 9. 9/24 is an equivalent fraction to 3/8. How do I get from 6 to 24? Times 4. Whatever you do to the denominator, you must do to the numerator. Since I've multiplied 6 by 4 in my denominator, I need to multiply my numerator 4 by 4, and you get 16. Now we've got both our fractions with a denominator of 24. So I can rewrite our addition to 16 24ths plus 9 24ths, and I can add 16 plus 9 is 25. Whoops. And 24 stays the same as our denominator. We've got 25 24ths. So now we're going to put these numbers together. Let me get a different colored pen here. Now we need to take our whole 10 from when we added 1 plus 9, and we need to take our fraction when we added 4/6 plus 3/8, which was really 16 24ths plus 9 24ths, and got 25 24ths. We need to take those two numbers and we need to add them. So I'm going to do the math over here. Notice how much math just one problem is taking. I'm having to persevere here to get all this done. 10 plus 25 24ths. Okay, remember, in between our whole number and our fraction is an invisible plus math symbol. 25 24ths. Okay, well, that's an improper fraction because our numerator 25 is bigger than our denominator 24. So I need to turn this improper fraction into a mixed number. You're going to do that by dividing. 25 divided by 24. This fraction bar in between the 25 and 24 is really division. 24 will go into 25 one time. 1 times 24 is 24, so we subtract, we get 1. That's our remainder. We take our remainder, we drive it up over our divisor. So now our answer, 25 24ths, as a mixed number is 1 and 1/24. All right, so now we're going to take that and we're going to add it to 10. So 10 plus 1 and 1/24 is equal to, well, 10 plus 1 is 11, and we have 1/24 as our fraction. So our answer is 11 and 1/24. There's our final answer. All right, boys and girls, so you're going to do 2, 3, and 4 using either strategy or any strategy that you'd like. You can use the fraction models like we did for number 1, or you can do the math out like you just saw me do for number 5. In order to get full credit, you must show your work. Okay, you can't just put the answer there because I need to see that you know how to do this math. Okay, and feel free to go back and rewatch these problems as you're working out your own problems. When you're done, you're going to go back to Buzz. You're going to click on that next activity and click on that blue plus button to submit your work.